Hey folks, we're coming in on early June, and gardening is doing great. I know I haven't done a video in a long time, but that's because kind of lost steam on the whole thing. But anyway, I'm gonna try it again. Today I'm gonna pick some rhubarb. Got a lot of rhubarb going. I've harvested quite a bit already. Show you how to do it. It's easy. I grew up cutting rhubarb all the time out of rhubarb for rhubarb plants. You shouldn't do that. Actually, you should actually pull it from the very base. I'll show you what that looks like. It's super easy. Typically, you can harvest about a third of the plant at a time and then let it grow. It'll shoot off more leaves fairly quickly. And this rhubarb is very well established, so you don't want to do this on like a 1-year-old rhubarb plant. This rhubarb is probably, I don't even know, probably 10, 15 years old. So we're gonna pull off a good chunk of it today and get it all prepped. Basically what I'm doing with it right now is I'm gonna keep some of it because my wife is gonna make some rhubarb crisp for Father's Day, which I'm excited for. And then I'm gonna actually cut up a bunch of it and freeze it because in the fall I'm gonna be making jam with it. So I'll pair it with strawberries. So you got strawberry rhubarb jam. So anyway, let's get to work. As you can see, nice big rhubarb plant. So what you do, find you a stalk. We'll grab this one here. This one's a little damaged, but whatever. Just give it a tug. Get that straight off. And then I'll cut that off, cut the leaf off. Good to go. I use a flower pot for collecting all my stuff, just because it's easy and I have it handy. So let's pick a good amount of this. So I have not even harvested even close to a third. Pull one more, but you can see what I pulled. Pretty good amount. Now your next step is to cut the leaves off. Leaves are toxic. You don't eat the leaves, okay? Only eat the stalk. And I just use a sharp knife, clip it off, and then you can put it in your compost. What I like to do is actually just put it right back into the soil here. That way earthworms and whatever can eat it. That way I don't pile up anything in my compost. So I think it generally works to do it this way, but that's pretty much it. I'll give you a quick tour of the garden here in a second. There we go, nice bit of rhubarb. Not sure how much, but a good little bit. Also got a little buddy over here. All right, let's do a quick tour. So that portion of the yard is tamed. It's the yard. And then I have my little strip back here, which is, as you can tell, largely untamed. But I got a lot going on here. So elderberry, planted this here, doing extremely well. It's black elderberry. And I got a whole bucket load of plants in here that I'm just kind of ignoring, as you can tell. But it's wild and there's a lot of little critters in there, so I like that. Planted a couple Norway spruce here, so they're real small, but they're growing. I got some wildflowers planted around here, a lot of sunflowers, stuff like that. I got my little bird buddy over here helping me out with this video today, so yeah. But yeah, I got a whole line of just wildflowers growing right here. Nice little pathway, a little water spot for the birds. Tall grass that my wife is getting annoyed with. More wildflowers here, more random plants. I got a couple cedar trees in there, but they're completely overwhelmed by wildflowers and I just don't really care. An oak tree growing here. Frost kind of got it a little bit, so we're hoping it comes out of that. Got my first raised bed here. Got some squash in the corners there. They're gonna run along the fence line. I fenced this bed off because I have so many rabbits coming in here. I got some garlic growing there. This German red garlic, not doing well. I got some just random cover crop in here. I got cabbage, beets, and kale. I got some wildflowers there that are just kind of there aesthetically, and then I have Russian red garlic growing really well here. For some reason, the Russian red did much better than the German. I don't know the reasoning, but it sure did. And I got a big sunflower there. Got my water here. A lot of people are probably like, oh, you should probably cover that for the mosquitoes. I actually like mosquitoes in my garden for a number of reasons. Main reason is they're kind of the bottom of the food chain, so whatever eats mosquitoes are going to be here. And there's a lot of things that eat mosquitoes, so I let them flourish, honestly. More diverse garden generally means better production. So, well, you can see my asparagus has done really well. This is only the second year for this asparagus. I got 2-year-old crowns, but it's doing extremely well. Got some mint here that's starting to overtake things, which I should probably control. This is actually a grass buffer, and I got some wildflowers and some stuff in here, and then it's the garden. I got beans doing very well. Asparagus is crowding over a little bit, whatever. Cabbages. My arugula has gone to seed. I'm still picking it because I love arugula. This is the first time I've ever done something like this, and this was just out of necessity. Those are all peppers and tomatoes and apparently a big dandelion. Usually I use cans, but I didn't have enough cans. We had a crazy wind come through, so I needed to block it off. So I just threw in a bunch of firewood. It's actually been working really well because I fill those areas in with grass. And what's crazy is the grass disappears so quickly. Like, I'm not kidding. I did this 2 weeks ago. I filled this with grass and it is gone. I assume the worms and stuff are eating it. So that's telling me I have good, healthy soil. Swiss chard. Love Swiss chard. Let's grab some radishes. I picked a lot of radishes earlier this week, probably about 100, and made pickled radishes, some cherry tomatoes, kale, beets. Beets are doing really well. Beets are a weird one. They take a while to start, but then once they start, they start. Got day-counter radishes, buttload of weeds. I got clover there. There's supposed to be garlic right here, but the garlic never grew for whatever reason. This is actually garlic. These are some cloves that I just threw out here to be compost, and yeah, a lot of them actually grew. And there's a lot of grass mixed in here, but you can see like some of that's garlic. So anyway, yeah, that is the garden. Y'all are probably saying, wow, Josh, you have a lot of weeds you should probably deal with. And yes, I do. But I honestly leave a lot of the weeds because, again, you're adding more diversity in here. And as long as they're not overtaking things, I generally let them go. I usually just get the ones that are overgrown. I usually try to pick out the dandelions and stuff. And like here, I got a tree growing, so I gotta pull that out. But otherwise, I really kind of just let it go. And my main thing is I try to fill in, cover the soil as much as possible, whether that's with grass mulch like this, dry leaves, or just like an actual cover crop. That way I don't have to weed so much. So it's kind of the lazy man's approach to gardening, but it's better than spending hours and hours out here weeding or spraying this with pesticides. I'd rather just get the little guys here and there and call it a day. So anyway, that's the garden. That's the garden tour. Oh, and I got a rhubarb plant there too. So hope you all enjoyed this. Talk to you next time.